Food waste recycling really requires a big system, everything from the generator being interested in separating and collecting their food waste separate from the rest of their landfill-bound trash. It needs somebody to move it to where a recycling facility is, and it needs a really committed landowner, often a farmer, to develop a composting system. We've made good headway right now, and we have a farmer who's very interested in creating and establishing a composting system. Her biggest challenge is financing and trying to find the financing to create the system. But it's also about the generators and finding the people who are willing to pay something to enable her to at least operate in a way that she is recouping her costs at a minimum. So it needs all of those stages, and it's developing all of those systems in parallel. There are a lot of people in the area who are very interested in recycling their food waste. We still really need to help them figure out what are the changing in their operating practices that they need to work with their employees to make sure that they're appropriately separating their food waste. And with the New York State law, as soon as we have a business set up, the large quantity generators will have to be her customers.
What we would like to do is form a partnership with our local community where we are personally collecting food waste from you. The reason that we would like to keep the collection small and to do it ourselves is we're able to better ensure that we don't have plastic waste or contamination, and that is an issue with large composting organizations. A lot of plastic will get mixed in with the food waste, and we'll get to see that when we're collected. When we return to the facility with the waste, we will incorporate that in with carbon matter. We'll go into a bay in an outside wall, the north wall of our building, that has aeration that runs underneath the floor. Usually the piles will get to 135 to 150. They'll get hotter than that too, but that's really the range that you're not really wanting it to get hotter than that. We plan on using a few yards out of each bay to feed some worms. We're going to put worm beds inside of the heated area. So the worms will produce worm castings, and that is one of the most valuable fertilizers that there is. So we'll actually end up with two main outputs as far as fertilizer is concerned. There'll be worm castings, and then there will also be the compost that's coming through the curing pile. One of the other byproducts of this will be delicious food.
Digester here at Clarkson is used to treat food waste. And so over the last several years, we've treated essentially pre-consumer food waste. So that's the food waste which is generated in the kitchens. In the long-term vision, we will also treat post-consumer waste. So that's the waste which is generated in the cafeteria, essentially in the dining halls.
We made a lot of progress in the last 18 months that we've been working on this project. We have a farmer we're working very closely with. She's establishing a food waste recycling program right now, and so we are helping her get started on her business. But we also need more. She does not have the capacity to handle all the large quantity generators in the region. So we need to use her as an example and establish more farms and more facilities that will accept food waste and do effective composting.